Hello, Mustang parents and guardians. Welcome to Medical Interventions. My name is Mrs. Blanchard, and I've been here at Walnut for 4 years, teaching for 5. I have a beautiful family with my husband, Corbin, and our daughter, Frankie. My husband is also a teacher, so we are both tackling distance learning together this semester, and it's actually been really nice to have each other as a resource and support system through all of this unprecedented challenges that we've been facing. I want to briefly go over what your students will be learning through the course of our year. First semester, we are going to do how to fight infection. We're currently talking about tracing an outbreak, and we will discuss pandemics. So in a way, I should be grateful for current events because it is definitely making our content more relevant to students. Unit 2, we start to talk about genes and how we can actually detect gene-related disorders and diseases and potentially even treat them through gene therapy. Unit 3, we talk about conquering cancer, and we end up discussing ways that we can treat cancer that are still being developed today. Unit 4 starts to get into what we would do when organs fail. So I would say overall, this class is very focused on treatment and prevention of diseases, and students get a really unique opportunity to dive into medical interventions that are still being discovered and researched and fine-tuned as we speak by scientists. Recommended supplies for this semester, of course, students need computer with internet access, a functioning camera, a microphone, and a speaker. I do recommend that students wear headphones that have a built-in microphone if possible. Most cell phones come with a pair of headphones just like this. To me, this helps students focus during our lessons because they can kind of block out background noise, given that we're all in unique home life situations. And then the microphone helps to pick up just on the student's audio when they get called on in class. Our textbook for medical interventions is completely online. It's always been this way, but definitely very helpful this semester. Students can access all the curriculum and resources they need. PLTW.org has also been really wonderful about adapting to distance learning and have been providing additional resources for students. That way, if they need any additional support, it's there for them and very accessible. Class procedures, definitely had to switch things up quite a bit this year, but my main goal and my teaching philosophy is always to make interactions with students that are whole group or small group to be very meaningful. So I try to take up our live Zoom time with some kind of interaction where they're working in small groups or they're doing some kind of interactive thing with me. So there's really wonderful resources that we use, like Pear Deck, where students are asked to answer questions while I give a presentation. Edpuzzle, which allows me to pre-record my lectures, put them onto this website where I then ask questions while they're watching. Zoom, of course, every day. Flipgrid is another way students can record short videos of a lab or explaining something, and then all of their peers, including myself, can watch it. Remind, I want all students on Remind. It's a safe way for teachers and students to communicate with each other, much like texting would be, but it's all through the secure app. I'm requiring that all students get on there because we can talk to each other without having to be relying on internet access. And then everything that I do is put through Google Classroom and can be found on Google Classroom. One note I'd like to make is that anytime students and I are not live on a Zoom, they are expected to be working on something. So your child should always have something to do during our block period. And if they say that they don't, then I would encourage them to double check Google Classroom, because I've always have something for them to work on, unless that they have worked ahead and gotten everything done ahead of time. Grading policy, labs and projects are equal to my tests and quizzes, and project lead the way students are asked to do labs and projects often, and They're quite in-depth, so I find them to be just as valuable as an assessment tool as a test or a quiz. Lab journal is essentially our classwork. We have a digital lab journal that we work on all year long, and they're turning in activities on a weekly basis. The final is 10% of their grade. Second semester, their final is an EOC or end of course exam, and those scores are also interpreted and then 10% of their grade. Through distance learning so far, I've learned several things about students. And one of the main things is that they're very adaptable and they have already been acquainted with our new learning routines. Their digital citizenship has been outstanding. I was nervous about students having appropriate backgrounds, names for their Zoom accounts, being ready to speak. I've had zero issues so far. Class participation and their quality of work has been outstanding. I get very few students with problems or needing extra time. Anytime I call on a student, they're always willing to unmute their mics and speak up. So I've been really impressed so far. Through one of our activities where I asked students to explain a little bit about themselves and what's something they'd like to work on, I would say almost every single student told me they wanted to work on time management. I'm racking my brain for ideas of how I can help kids do this, aside from just creating timely due dates. So I just wanted parents to be aware that your child has expressed that they want to be better with their time management, and a lot of them worded it that they don't want to procrastinate like they did in previous years. If you have any questions for me, the best way to reach me at this time is through email. You can also have your student reach out to me through Remind if it's just a quick question, but through email, I will respond within 24 hours. I look forward to getting to know you and your child. Thank you.